people get involved in your campaign. They say, you know what, I love this woman, I love what she's doing, she's fighting for us.
And I expect all of you guys to get involved with conservative media and be heard today, tax day, April 15th, and again, November, when we take this country back from the people that are trying to control you and make this into a socialist state. We're not standing for it. Thank you very much.
These people are speaking it out here. They're letting you know what's going on. John Villarreal, Conservative Media. Now we're here right in front of California Hall. This is where the Chancellor resides. This is where the action goes down for the administration of this entire UC campus. Now these strikers here, they're pissed off. They've got demands that they're asking here. 1, to publicly denounce Arizona's quote-unquote racist anti-immigration law. 2, to make UC Berkeley a sanctuary campus. 3, to drop all student conduct charges. 4, to stop cuts for low-wage service workers. 5, to suspend the student code of conduct. And number 6, to commit nonviolent means of ensuring safety. This is a hunger strike. They've been going for 9 days, 193 hours. We're with Eli Freeman, one of the strikers. I would call him one of the leaders, but there is no official leader of this movement because it is Berkeley. You know how these things go down. Now, Eli, what's up? What is this thing all about?
Well, you just read off our demands, so people have a general sense about what we're trying to do here. The catalyst for this hunger strike was, of course, the passage of SB 1070, the anti-immigrant law in Arizona. And
why did that piss you off?
It pissed me off because it pissed a lot of people off all around the country, and it pissed me off in particular because we understand that what this law means is that police, law enforcement in the state of Arizona are going to be engaging in racial profiling, and people who are both citizens and people who are here without their papers are going to be targeted.
Now, I understand that they changed the law so that you can't just stop someone for reasonable suspicion. Supposedly now, you can only stop them if they're actually, rather, you don't even stop them. They will check the papers if they're actually detained and arrested. So, in other words, you punch someone at a bar, you're going down to the pokey, then they might check your papers. Is that okay with you, or are you still against it?
Listen, our position is that clearly there needs to be serious immigration reform in this country. I think people on the left side of the aisle, people on the right side of the aisle agree that the immigration system that we have right now is broken.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of how to reform that, I think that we might have some difference of opinion. We believe that, there are certain human rights that people are entitled to, whether they're on the north side of the border or whether they're on the south side of the border. And, we believe that people should have basic rights, education and healthcare and, the right to be able to walk down the street and feel safe that you're not going to be harassed by police officers, regardless of what your immigration status is.
On the immigration stuff, what do you guys want? I mean, are you for amnesty? Are you for unfettered immigration? Are you for a strong border? I mean, what is your actual position? Is there a position on immigration?
Our group does not have a formal position. I mean,
other than being against SB 1070.
That's correct. That's the only position that our group
Very Berkeley.
Shares. I could articulate my own personal.
What is your opinion?
My position is, certainly everybody who's here, who's undocumented, should be granted amnesty.
Wow.
And I do believe that at a certain point, money and goods, after NAFTA, flow across the border. And so why is it that money and goods should be able to flow back and forth unfettered and people shouldn't be able to flow back and forth?
But then should they be allowed to have healthcare and free schools and all that type of stuff, that if they're not paying taxes, and if they're not citizens, should they be able to have that?
Well, undocumented workers do pay taxes, so.
Well, some taxes. And some people would make the argument that actually not having some kind of documentation or some kind of guest worker program or whatever actually makes it harder on the undocumented workers, because then they can be taken advantage of by business.
Oh, well, I agree 100% about that.
Now, what Arizona is saying is look, the federal government and Obama is not doing their job, and basically there's a drug war that's been spilling over here. We've got a lot of our citizens that have been kidnapped. I guess Arizona or Phoenix is the kidnap capital now of the U.S., and don't you think that the government has a right to keep, a duty to keep people safe?
I do believe that the government has a duty to keep people safe, of course, and I think that law enforcement has a role to play in society. Absolutely, if your people are being kidnapped, you got to do something about it.
Are you for capitalism? Are you a socialist? I mean, what role do you think government has, and what kind of system, if you could wave a magic wand, would you like to see?
I don't have a particular label for myself. I do think that the government, I think that people collectively should be able to provide certain goods to everyone in society, regardless of where they come from, regardless of their age, regardless of their race.
But like, should everybody have health care? Everybody have schools? Everybody have a house?
Yeah, I think so.
That sounds socialist to me. That's okay. We're here at Berkeley.
Hey, right. That's right. Socialists would be like the right side at Berkeley. You have your communists.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Would you say you're communist?
Like I said, I don't have a particular label for myself. I think that
we're Berkeley folks.
I do think that the free market fails to provide people with basic goods that they need to survive.
Free market is not fair. But then, what about don't you think with Greece and the EU and these countries basically going bankrupt and what happened in the Soviet Union, that at some point it is good, and you want to help people that can't help themselves, and you want to be a charitable society and help your neighbor, your brother, your sister, whatever. But at the same time, if there's too many people that aren't working, if you're paying too many people not to work, that the whole system collapses. That's kind of what's happening here in California with these big public employee unions that have these huge entitlements, and then it becomes cuts on you guys as students, where you have to pay more to go to school.
I mean, I see your point. I think that when we're living in a system where Wall Street bankers walk away with billions of dollars in
See, I got no problem with that. They can make as much fun as they want. What I got a problem with is when they get bailed out. And you know what?
Well, if you right,
okay, all right, you feel me on that? All right, see, the libertarian and the communist or slash socialist, whatever my words, come together. I mean, you make all the money that you want to make. Like if you're at the roulette table in Vegas, but when you lose, you take it in the shorts.
Right. We're on the same page on that.
Right?
Yep.
All right.
What are you guys thinking about your tactic, though? You guys are 9th day of hunger strike. I know you guys yesterday, threatened.
I have protein bars for you if you want some.
I do too. I have a fruit roll up.
I could use some of them. I've lost about 10 pounds.
Wow, bro. Why don't we take this protest to Val's or Blondie's and eat some food?
Val's.
Yeah.
Hey, as soon as this strike ends, I'm there with you. After we had shut down this building.
Are these police being nice to you?
No, in fact, yesterday I was blocking one of those doors. Some police.
Wow, you're blocking the door.
I was blocking the door.
Okay.
Despite my, I don't have a lot of.
Yeah, what I like about Eli is Eli's honest. He at least lays it out, right? He's not even trying to front. Go ahead.
No, I was blocking the door, and the strikers and all of our supporters are going to graduate to the next stage of the struggle.
I think you guys should have a naked strike. Like when I was here, they had the naked man. And they had the people in the Sprout Plaza, and they cover themselves with rainbows and stuff and whatever. It got a lot of attention. I bet you get a meeting pretty quick.
And arrested for public.
Yeah, and then you'd actually get to eat.
No, but public indecency, you don't want to do that.
I think you need a naked strike.
So
I think you need my fruit roll up.
I like your idea. I like your idea too. Yesterday, we thought that we'd been hunger striking for a week. We thought that hunger strikers engaging in civil disobedience would up the ante. Maybe if we took our clothes off,
I'm telling you,
that would be the final. You
will definitely get pressed then.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. I'm hungry. I'm naked. I just want to talk to the chancellor. Can somebody help me? Now, what about this? This is a totally different. You see? We're starting things here. Now, let me ask you about President Obama. What do you think about him? What kind of job has he done, in your opinion?
I'm quite disappointed in President Obama. We just talked about the bank bailouts.
Yep.
I think that was perhaps the greatest heist in the history of America.
Stepped up Predator drone strikes in Pakistan. I mean, he hasn't done a lot of the things about the immigration thing. He's basically bailed out on that, more or less.
I agree. Immigration, in terms of foreign policy, like you said, in Afghanistan and Pakistan, I think that the bailout was a disaster. At the end of the day, he passed healthcare reform, but I don't think it's such a great bill. We'll see what's happening with finance reform, but I'm pretty disappointed with him.
All right. Is there a website or something where people can learn more about this?
Yeah, we have a website. It's hungryforjustice.wordpress.com, and you can also search for us on Facebook. We have a group. It's called Hungry for Justice.
Cool. All right, you heard it right there from themselves. These people just spoke it to you, conservative new media peeps out there. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think that that's crazy? Or you support some of this stuff? Or you support some of it? I want to hear from all the people out there. I want to hear from everyone, from the communists to the libertarian, the conservatives, the Democrats, everybody in between. You can subscribe to us up above. Give me the comments down below. We will delete and block any racist, sexist, any type of that comments. Keep it clean out there, but let's heat it up. And I want to hear what you guys think. Do you agree with what Eli says, or are you 100% against it? I am John Villarreal, and you are Conservative New Media, and we will see you next time.